High ticket sales changed my life and it can change yours as well. This is going to be a raw video of me just talking about my story, talking about how I got into high ticket sales, why I actually got into high ticket sales, and I'll try to keep it as concise as possible. Now, why am I doing this? I'm not doing this for any empathy. I'm not doing this for anything like that. What I'm doing this for is to inspire. I want to inspire at least one of you guys to actually start making a change towards a better life. Because deep down, even though you think like, oh, I want to study and I want to work a regular job. No, that's not the life that you want to build for yourself and for the people that you care about. Like working that job is not going to allow you to retire your parents. It's not going to allow you to live life to the fullest. It's not going to allow you to see the world and travel and have all the time and location freedom in the world. Like that's not gonna happen. So what I want you to take from this video is just inspiration overall. Now, starting off, I started getting into high ticket sales about like September when I was 17 years old. Right now I'm 19 years old. So when I was 17, it was September. I've tried a bunch of different business models before. Drop shipping, trading, like even starting like a clothing brand, you name it. And what I always wanted to do is like, oh, get rich quick, make money as quickly as possible. That's what I wanted to do. Because in life, things require effort, right? And I didn't quite know that. So I wanted to get the easy way out. So I was just dabbling in these different business models. And I was doing really, really well in school. Like my future was set for me in terms of me actually just like keeping up my good grades and then just going straight to uni, studying engineering or something in lines of that. But that didn't sound exciting to me, right? Like that didn't sound exciting to me. That's why I was always looking into ways on how to actually make money online. And when I'm saying that I was doing good at school and my future was there, like I'm not even joking. I was a 10 student. I was going to a bunch of different like competitions, like physics competitions, maths competitions, all those kind of things. So yeah, my future was kind of laid out for me already. But when I was like doing a bunch of these different like get rich quick scheme models online, I saw one of my classmates, Mr. T, shout out to him. He was getting into copywriting and he spent the whole summer learning copywriting without any return on investment whatsoever. But then he made his first 1,000 euros. And him making his first 1,000 euros, I was like, holy shit, like you can actually make money online. You can actually make money while doing something that isn't a regular job. That's something on a laptop at home. That was just crazy to me. That was like fascinating to me. And I got into talks with him. I was like, yo, well, like, what are you doing here? And all these kind of things. And he was like, yo, I'm doing copywriting. I like, okay, where did you learn this copywriting from? Oh, the man guy, he sells like a $30 course, digital launchpad where you can learn a bunch of different skills. It's like, oh, fuck, that's interesting. Went back home, I legit bought that course, started looking at the different things that were there. One of my other buddies also talked about him doing appointment setting and stuff. And I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. And sales I was like checking through the things that Iman Gadzhi teaches on these actual, on Digital Launchpad. And I was like, you know what, sales just feels like it's for me, like it's calling my name. I feel like I'm a good communicator. I can talk to people really well. I can show up confidently. There was like, you know what, sales is something that I want to do. Let me learn this skill. So that's why when I started learning. And just to remind you, I was learning sales on a $30 a month course. I was just learning sales over there. And believe me or not, like that course was really bad. It wasn't good at all. It had a lot of things left out. It basically had nothing. Like what can you expect for a $30 course, right? But you got to start somewhere. I started learning, started doing a bunch of mocks. And one thing that I saw is like, even though I was in school, so I was in school from 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. And that's where I'm in Lithuania, so I'm in the Eastern European time zone. 4 p.m., that's where the prime EST hours start. Like 9 a.m. EST, that's 4 p.m. my time. So this is what I used to do. Grind out school, ditch all the homework, come back and grind till midnight, go back to sleep and repeat this whole cycle 6 days a week. That's what I was doing, basically. Learning, absorbing, mock calls, reviewing my mock calls, all those kind of things. And that's where, being in a digital launchpad, I managed to land my first role, which is a miserable role. I was just cold calling roofers in the US, trying to pitch them services and all those kind of things. Like not pitch them services, but book them onto a call. And I did learn quite a lot of things. It was my first actual role of me talking to actual people, not just doing role plays and mock calls. And yeah, I was grinding it out. Like even though it didn't like give me a lot of money in the beginning, like I was still grinding it out. I was willing to make it happen. And that's where I made my first $150 that got sent to me into my bank account. And that's where I was astonished. I was like, holy, this is like actually possible. I just made my first online money. And that's where I got this like huge drive. And I wanted to improve even more. And I knew that this $30 course for a month, guys, is just not going to cut it. I need to get into bigger environments, better environments. So I had some money saved up from my summer job. So I decided to spend $500 on Alex's back school group, which is Learn Sales VIP. I'll be honest, that group was also pretty dog shit. Like really surface level stuff. Like I didn't like Alex's way of selling at all. Like no shame at him, he's an amazing sales rep, also worked with Iman, but it was just, I didn't like it. If I'm being honest, I didn't like it at all. I was doing what I could do best. I was still absorbing the information, I was still learning, I was still going through the modules, writing down notes, like legit pages of notes, and implementing things into my process, and things were flowing smoothly. But the one thing that truly helped me out within that course was actually seeing that there was like a job board where Alex, he had a bunch of connections in the space. He would use to post actual job applications there. And I applied for a little SDR role, for an appointment setting role. And it was under the Jacob Levinar's portfolio, ECJ Growth, which is now basically gone, it's wiped out. But it was under that portfolio. And I was like, holy shit, this offer seems amazing. I look at the OTE, 5 to 10K a month. I'm like, holy shit, this is life-changing money, right? I'm still, okay, now I'm 18 by this point. I'm like, holy shit, this is life-changing money. I need to apply. I applied, got the interview, was hella nervous on the interview. Like, I will be honest, like, me being a sales manager right now would have not hired me. But this one guy, Jordan, I still remember that guy, and I even like messaged him like a couple of months back. He kind of like saw something in me, I believe, and he accepted me. Even though I was in school, even though I was pretty fresh to sales, he kind of saw something within me, and he accepted me. And that's where I got onto an e-commerce offer. So I was dialing on the e-com offer while being on school. That was my first proper role over there. And I was just dialing there, dialing, and I was racking up money really quickly. Like, for me, it seemed really quickly. Like, within my first month being there, I made my first $1,000. I was over the moon. I made more than an average Lithuanian makes on a month working a regular job, which was like insane to me. That gave me even more conviction to just double down on what I'm doing and actually go all full in sales. And I just repeated the cycle. Like, I slacked up on so much sleep. I ditched all of my like studies. Like, I didn't care about that stuff no more. I had one crystal clear vision and where I wanted to go. As I mentioned, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm in school. When I come back, I get a quick meal and I'm working. Like, I don't care whether it's dialing, whether it's call reviews, whether it's like learning closing. I'm just working straight off the bat. Like, I don't care. And 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. turned into 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. sometimes. Right? And I was like going to school on just a few hours of sleep, which was insane. But I just wanted to be in this season. So I was on that roll. I made my first 1,000, bought a MacBook just because I knew that I have to kind of reinvest into myself in order for me to make even more money. And just a MacBook is kind of like that old, like all entrepreneurs have MacBooks. So I wanted to do that. But then once I did that, I saw that, okay, Iman's course, really surface level, only $30 a month. Not gonna help me get to the next level. Then Alex Beck's like group on school, I didn't like it at all. Surface level doesn't work for me at all. I don't like it. I don't feel like I'm improving being there. So I was like, okay, I have about 2,000 euros saved up from my summer job. Where can I invest it into? And during the digital launchpad days, I used to always attend these coaching calls ran by Scott Brunning. Most of you guys probably know Scott Brunning. If not, he's an absolute GOAT. Managed Iman Gadzhi's sales teams, like managed multiple insane sales teams. Currently also doing the same. And I always looked up to that person. I still look up to that guy. Like, I genuinely want to be like him in the management space as well. So yeah, what I did, I saw that like Scott left Digital Launchpad and he said that he'll be joining like a different group or he'll be coaching. And it was Sales.io. World-class sales back in the day, but now it's called Sales.io. That's the OGs, if you know that. So I was like, holy shit, I enjoyed working with Scott so much. Like, not working, like learning from him on these coaching. I was like, I want to learn from him. And I sent Scott a message like, yo, bro, like, how much does this cost? Like, he said like $5,000. I'm like, oh my God, like $5,000, bro? I have only 2,000 euros in my bank account. And I was like, okay, is it possible to split it up? He's like, yeah, it's possible. Like a 3-way split. Easily doable. I'm like, that's what I'm doing. I don't care. Like, get me on a call. I hopped on a call with this one guy, Lou. My first ever sales call, I was super nervous as well. And he closed me, of course. I was a laydown. And I paid 1/3 of the payment. And then I had barely any money left. And I was like, okay, shit. I mean, I have a role. I have a mentorship, which will help me accelerate my growth. I put my back against the wall. Now I have to make this happen. I'm going to grind harder than I ever have, and I am going to make sure that I never miss a payment and that I make money on top of that. So what I did, I grinded. That's where, as I mentioned, like 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. became a daily thing for me. Grinding, all coaching calls, call reviews constantly. And the best thing for me was that when I had one-on-ones for those 3 months inside of World Class Sales, Sales.io, I could have 2 one-on-ones a week with one of the coaches. Like there was like Cole, JJ, and Scott. I had all of my one-on-ones with Scott. I don't know why, I just resonated with Scott the most. I wanted to embody his way of selling. I wanted to learn from him. He was also focusing on internal mastery, closing, and it was amazing. Like it was actually amazing. I got in there, I started making 3K a month, 4K a month, 5K a month. As me just being an 18-year-old in school. And I was like, I was over the moon. I was like, holy shit. Like this stuff actually works. I'm making more than I need on a monthly basis. Like in Lithuania, you can live off of like 1.5K a month. And that's what most people don't even make in Lithuania. I think so. I might be statistically wrong, but I was over the moon. I was like, holy, this stuff is working. I'm doing something right. I have to continue doing this. And the e-commerce software, it kind of had ups and downs. And like 1 month you make 5K, next month 2K, then next month you make 7K, and then you make 5K. And yeah, it wasn't really consistent. That's where I started like kind of stacking offers a bit, and my work ethic got even more insane. It's better always to find one offer where you can make your desired OT rather than stacking offers, and I've stacked a lot of offers, especially with dialing. It was a pain in the ass, but I was working on quite a few offers. I set for a trading offer. I set for a wholesale real estate offer. What else did I set for? I set for quite a few offers. And then I remember I got my first closing role on like a fitness offer for one of the, I'm not gonna name drop the influencer, but really cool role. Over there, I had put in so much training. I had put in so much work into perfecting my craft, especially closing. Like I was still on the ecom offer. I was stacking offers, by the way. I was a setter there, and I was a closer on another offer. The first day of me taking calls, the sales manager was like, yo, take a look at Dom's calls. They're insane. Like guys, this is what you should be, like this is what you guys should be doing. And I was smashing on that offer. I remember I was working EST hours, and my schedule, me being in Eastern Europe, it aligned perfectly with me. So I was taking like a couple hours of dialing, take the calls, dial in between. Like I was on full grind mode, doing still call reviews, everything like that, and I was just perfecting my craft. I also started watching Josh Lyons videos on YouTube at that time. So during that time it was spring. Spring my time. Of course, everyone, like when it's spring for everyone, but it was spring. Yeah, I was just grinding it out, setting the example on that actual closing role. That's where like I made my record month was like my first 7K month, and I was still in school. I was like, oh my God, I made 7K. I have zero living expenses, nothing like that. And it was like, that's more than anyone in my family makes in a single month. I was astonished. And I'm just like an 18-year-old, just still going to school. And my mom, she's still expecting me to go study and stuff. But now she's seeing kind of like the proof of concept that I can make this happen, right? So we always kind of like, even teachers were telling me like, oh, you're gonna go study, right? Like my mom's also like, you're gonna go study, right? Like this is not sustainable. All these kind of things. They're like, I'm like, I don't know, I'll see, you know? So I just kept on the grind. Long story short, the fitness offer also died down. The marketing was just like complete ass. But yeah, it died down. Then I basically just continued grinding on that e-commerce offer. That then came around the time of me finishing school and getting ready before exams, because in 12th grade in school you have like these big exams and all those kind of things. So I finished school, and before even finishing school, I already put down a deposit for a flat outside of my original city, my town. I even lived in the town, to move out. I finished school. We have this kind of thing in Lithuania called like the last bell or something like that. And then you're just like preparing for exams, that's it. I finished school, next day I left to this other city to basically live there alone. Where a lot of people these days, they don't even move out of their parents' house until they're like 20, 22. I was fresh out of school. and I still moved out on my own money because I was fully sustaining myself, making 5K a month while being in school. And I was like, that's where the kind of like perspective shifts. You're kind of like, okay, I don't care what these teachers are telling me about the future. I don't care what they're telling me about like study this, study that. I got my own thing. Like I'm making my own money and I'm making more than them. I don't care. You're living miserable lives, and I'm building my freedom. And it was kind of like in an ego way, but that's what kind of like drove me. So yeah, that's what I did. I finished my exams, didn't even study for my exams. I did really, really well on my exams, and people were shocked. Like, Dom's not going to study, Dom's not doing that. Because other people have expectations of what I should be doing. So living now completely on my own. I lived with my girlfriend throughout that summer. I rented like a small apartment for 600 euros a month. And I was thriving. Like I was so happy. I was just doing sales full time, build myself a little nice setup. It wasn't nice at all, to be honest. Like I had my standing desk in like the living room, and in front of me was the kitchen. It was like so bad. I didn't like it. I was like, when I make more money, I'm just like moving out entirely out of there. And with me moving there, I also got promoted into a closer. So that's where things really, really took off. Like my first month of closing there, 12K. Boom. 12K as an 18-year-old. I was over the moon. I don't know. I still couldn't describe how I felt hitting that 12K for the first time, but I was over the moon. I was kind of like a full cycle rep in a way. Hitting that 12K was just it felt like life-changing money in a way. You know, when we look at it now, it's not really that life-changing money, but it felt life-changing. I was like, holy shit, I made that money. That first summer of me actually being moved out, and that's where I decided like, okay, I need to truly like that's where before my all of my days were observed about sales. But that's where it became real. I even started focusing on spirituality. I started focusing on internal mastery, like these advanced things with sales, and even like scriptless selling. I always used to do scriptless selling. That's what Scott taught me. And that's where I just started doubling down. Next month, 15K. Boom. Insane. I was like, oh my God, this is insane. I'm only 18 years old. The fuck's happening, right? That happened. Then I was making all this money. I was living in a flat where I mentioned like I had the standing desk, kitchen sink in front of me. And I was like, you know what? I need to upgrade. I need to move out. And it was kind of like uncomfortable, like bumping my rent up a lot. Like I bumped my rent up a lot from that $600 a month. Rented a nice, like in the same city, I rented like a nice loft. Like even with some of the reels or some of the videos that you would see, you could see there like I rented that loft and I lived there. I recently just moved out to a new place near the sea, which is in my opinion even nicer. But yeah, I lived there, and I moved in from that small flat into that bigger flat, and it was amazing, right? But before even doing that, I'm kind of just messing up the timelines here a bit. There was always this one person, like there were only like two people that I looked up to when it comes to sales. I looked up to Scott Brunning, the guy that I learned from the most, and then Josh Lyons. So when I made that 15K month, I decided that, you know what, I'm going all in. I committed to spending $3,000 a month to be inside of the Unicorn Closer Mastermind, which was, I'll be honest, those were like, that was like the best time of me being in sales ever. Like, I'll be honest, the community, like everything, the support, you can't even talk about it, right? I will be honest, now that I'm looking back at it, I do love his way of selling. Some things in my opinion don't work, some things do work, some things that he kind of like gaslights you about as well. But it's just like, if you're inside, you'll see. And I'm not saying like, it's an amazing mentorship. Like when it comes to sales, like yes, it's $3,000 a month, but it's one of the best. That's why it's actually $3,000 a month, right? But yeah, I was there, and I was in complete grind mode, like 12 hours, 14 hours a day. I was just like sales, sales. And I kind of kept that up for 2 months. Then just kind of decided to take it a bit more easy. Like, okay, maybe I'll spend 6 hours out of the day, not 12 hours out of the day, because I just kind of felt like I'm getting burnt out. Also around that time, a thing happened of the e-commerce offer shutting down for some reason. I have no idea why it shut down. I just left, and then I got into Offer Hub for a bit, like got into one of the biggest YouTube automation offers, didn't like it there, got into a smaller YouTube automation offer that I'm managing right now. And that's why I really loved it. I connected with this one guy called Lewis Appert, the absolute goat of growth operating. I got an interview, was really stoked to get on that offer, got on that offer. By that time I had quite the sales experience, I will be honest, for like an 18-year-old and just being in sales for not even a year. I had pretty good sales experience, pretty good way of thinking, and over there as well, I absolutely crushed on that offer. Stayed on that like legit I've mainly been on 2 offers. Like I never hopper offed. I was kind of like of course, yes, I stacked offers, but the ecom and the YouTube automation offer, those are like the main 2 offers that I was loyal to. So over there I stayed for a while. Also, top performer on the team, really racking up numbers, really proving myself as a hard-working guy. And I did that all the way to December, basically. End of December, of course, I finished my month of closing. And then January, that's where, like, of course, let me talk about my income. So being there, I was just making about like 7-10K a month. Kind of like that was the average. That was kind of like the baseline for me. I was still making that money, reinvesting some of it into my knowledge, like learning these different things, still obsessing over sales, doing call reviews, learning from Josh Lyons, like all those kind of things, right? But then when January rolled around, that's where I got a call from JJ Hernandez, one of the guys, the founder of Sales.io. He's like, yo, Dom, Iman Gazi, the same guy that I actually like learned from, Iman's running an event, a big event. I'm like, holy, can I, like, he wants me, like, and JJ wanted me to close on a team. I was ecstatic. I was like, holy shit, let's do it. Like, took a little break from the YouTube automation offer, and Lewis, the GOAT, he completely understood everything. Took a little break, and then I went on to close for Iman, which also was a great experience. I will be honest, like, it wasn't what we expected at all. I was kind of like the first one on the team to kind of like call bullshit, like, hey, this is not what was promised, but it's still like closing for Iman Gadi, kind of being in that atmosphere, just seeing things, like how things operate there, was an experience indeed, and I really enjoyed it there. But after I stopped closing for Iman, that's where Lewis, he hits me up saying, yo, you're an absolute GOAT, get into management. And that's what I got into management, and that's what led to me being over here. Getting into management, took over 2 offers right off the bat, and just kind of learning things on my own. That was like 5 months ago. Learning things on my own, figuring things out, and like polishing my process up, doing call reviews, doing all these kind of things. Like this is like when I found what I truly want to do, because I really enjoy teaching people. I have a bunch of like documents of sales knowledge, and I would say I have quite a lot of sales knowledge myself. And for the past 5 months, this is what it's been: taking on more offers, hiring, firing, reviewing calls, like making sure that things are flowing smoothly, reports to the marketing team, like just all those kind of things, which is overall management. And yeah, this is what my life has been for the past 5 months now, making money that I've never made before, like that I never expected to even make in the first place. Making consistent 5-figure months right now, living in a 2-story apartment near the beach. Still driving my old car, to be honest. Like, I'm really hesitant on buying a car. I was like, if it works, why buy it? But I'm also planning to get a nice little new car, basically helping out the people that I love, right? Like, those are the most important things to me, and just really being able to provide for people that I genuinely care about, right? And in the process, it taught me so many life lessons. It taught me how to be a better person overall, how the law of attraction works, all these kind of things. But that's not kind of like the point of like, oh, what I learned along the way, right? If that's interesting, y'all guys can ask me. I can, of course, go in more in depth, but all these videos are also going to include what I learned along the way. But in not even 2 years, I managed to go from a guy in school not knowing how the future is going to look like to being a guy who's managing multiple 6-figure month sales teams and making consistent 5-figure months and above, which is so crazy to me. It's still really crazy to think that a guy from a small town managed to achieve those things, and I'm still rolling. I'm still not slowing down anytime soon. And what all happened is just because I took risks. I didn't avoid discomfort. Like, I wanted that discomfort, and I wanted to grow. I wanted to be seen. I wanted to be the person who is seen as someone serious. And I think I achieved that. Like, I definitely feel like, yes, there is a ton of room for growth, yes. But what I've learned in the past like year and almost 2 years now, it's amazing. Like, it's something that you just have to experience for yourself to get it. I know this was quite a long video, right? Maybe a bit out of order in some places, but as I mentioned, this is unscripted. This is just me like talking from my head, and I hope this made you realize that even starting takes you so far. When it comes to starting, don't start these like get rich quick online business models and stuff. Like, genuinely take on a skill and learn it, whether it's high ticket sales or whether it's anything. And if you want to do it through high ticket sales, and you want to do it in a quicker manner, and you want to achieve things like I did and even greater things, feel free to hit me up on IG. We'll talk it out. We'll see on how I can actually help. But if you did stick through this till the end, I appreciate you watching. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.